What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. So our good friend, Vagina Mike Crawford, had a little meltdown the other day. He took his dogs for a walk, and he was thinking about yours truly. And he made a really epically cringe video that I laughed at first, but then I'm like, you know what? I got to respond to this. It's just too funny. So let's take a moment and enjoy the greatness that is Vagina Mike Crawford.
And it is a good morning. Look at me. I'm in my penthouse suite, having a great day. Unlike the little boy who went and cried last night and didn't tell the truth about the time he sent me.
Stop right there. The little boy who cried. Do we have to go back to Christmas in 2023 when yours truly got his bail revoked and went to jail for 60 days? What did Vagina Mike Crawford do? Let's go watch the tape.
Leave the witnesses alone. Some of these witnesses are victims. That's another thing where they try to go after me for intimidation. I feel bad for these witnesses, a lot of them. These so-called witnesses. They're getting used just as much as anybody else. Like they're being used by the state police and the...
You got that? Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert, Colin Albert, they're all victims in this. The witnesses are victims. Just leave them alone, guys. Stop asking them questions. Leave them alone. They're being used by the state. It's not Jennifer McCabe's fault they're lying. It's not Brian Albert's fault that they killed John O'Keefe inside the house. Just leave them alone, guys. Leave them alone.
Leave the witnesses alone. Some of these witnesses are victims. That's another thing where they try to go after me for intimidation. I feel bad for these witnesses, a lot of them. These so-called witnesses. They're getting used just as much as anybody else. Like they're being used by the state police and the...
Big tough guy, Mike Crawford. What else do you have to say?
Right before Christmas 2 years ago. Ruined my Christmas. Didn't give two fucks. The little boy who got himself in trouble again like he always does.
Oh, did I ruin Mikey's Christmas? Just to review, Christmas Eve, December 2023. I got this audio. First of all, I'm wanted out there. There's like, you know, Bolo, the guy's out there. There's this rumors that he snapped, that he beat the shit out of his girlfriend. Who knows, right? And so obviously I want to get the word out that I'm innocent, and I got an audio recording of that. And so I send it to the wrong guy.
Vagina Mike.
I send it to Vagina Mike. And Vagina Mike tells me, he listens to it, and then he makes a post. Oh my God, Turtleboy's innocent. You know, this audio shows that he was trying to leave and she would have let him and blah, 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 blah. And then he gets threatened by 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 messages him and says, if you play that audio, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. You're going to be in big trouble. You're next. And instead of just saying, screw you, 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, he cries. He literally quits and does an entire whole show on December 27th and December 28th about being nice to the witnesses and just leave them alone, and then somehow makes it all about him.
So again, I just want people to know, I believe I am the subject, a target for this whole bullshit right now. And so I'm going to be stepping aside in terms of not doing quite as many live shows and not quite the same content.
That's right. Vagina Mike tapped out, took some time off. He thought that the state police were actually looking for him. You got that? This guy right here, Vagina Mike.
I believe that I'm a target of the Norfolk County DA and the Massachusetts State Police. And I want people to be aware of it. And I also am giving a warning to the movement for Free Karen Read. Be careful of what you say online. Be careful of what you're talking about. Don't focus on the witnesses. Don't say their names, especially this woman. Don't say her name.
The state police thought he was going to be the next target because apparently doing a show that nobody watches makes you some sort of threat to the state that they're going to come after him. Newsflash, Mike, nobody cares about you. Literally, Brian Tully has never thought about you once. You can do your stupid show till the cows come home. Nobody cares about you, bro. But he had to make it all about him. Mr. Dramatic, Mr. I'm a big tough guy. He's being a big tough guy today, isn't he? He wasn't so tough on December 27th, 2023? Was he?
Gonna go after me. Now, this isn't a definite thing. This is not decided. I could be wrong. They could be getting ready today to pick me up. But they're sure trying. And I know they're thinking about it. And I would not be surprised if I'm part of this grand jury. Like this is a slippery slope. They're going from Turtleboy to me. I'm the guy who has the credibility that I've had U.S. Senator Ed Markey on my show for a 1-hour interview. It's come to my attention that I am definitely a target right now. So think about that. Think about it. People are like, how can you be a target? You're not like Turtleboy. You're so safe. That's where we are right now. So this is reality. This is reality right now. They're going after me. So one thing I'm looking for is criminal defense attorneys. If you have any good criminal defense attorneys, especially North Shore based, let me know. I'm looking for them. So again, I just want people to know, I believe I am the subject, a target for this whole bullshit right now. And so I'm going to be stepping aside in terms of not doing quite as many live shows and not quite the same content.
That's right. Vagina Mike quit. When the going got tough, Vagina Mike quit. He had this crazy thought in his head. Oh, they're coming after me. 𝗚్rusty Panty said they're coming after me. Oh, no. Oh, no. And instead of, standing up and continuing to fight for Karen Reed and John O'Keefe and, Turtleboy, who was literally just put in jail over this bullshit, he's like, you know what, guys? I'm going to quit because I'm not like Turtleboy. I'm not made for this stuff. I'm made to talk about weed and have beef with Grant Smith dolls, but I'm not really about actually fighting corruption and putting my life online because I'm a huge freaking pussy at the end of the day. What else does he say?
I listened to the audio. First question I had for the little boy was, hey, is that a legal recording? Is that wiretap? Can I actually release that? And the little boy comes back with a second video. With right at the beginning, I'm recording you on the audio. The first thing I thought, he's sending me an altered, edited audio. But I can't prove it. I can't post this. Me, being a fucking fool at the time, being somebody who actually wanted to believe Aidan Kearney and Turtleboy would never try to set me up for criminal charges, felony witness intimidation charges, freaked the fuck out.
Yeah, dude. Relax. Nobody's coming after you for witness intimidation charges. I sent you a goddamn audio showing I was innocent. You heard it. You agree with it. And then you were too much of a pussy to hit play because you thought that they were going to come after you for witness intimidation charges because that's what kind of man you are, a pussy. The Glarer played it later on. Nobody came, right? I ended up playing it. Christmas night. You were too much of a pussy too. And you say you have this other version of the recording, which I don't tell her I'm recording. Where is it? You got it, right? I sent it to you. Where is it? Oh, right. It was the same version of it. You were just too much of a pussy to play it, right? And at the end of the day, you quit. You took your channel and you took 3 weeks off because you, sir, are a raging fucking pussy, Vagina Mike.
Freaked the fuck out. I couldn't believe the betrayal that this fuck would try to set up his followers for criminal charges, because he had criminal charges. Like a little child. That's what he did. Of course I freaked out. It was the ultimate betrayal. This guy don't give 2 fucks about anybody but himself.
What did you say? I don't care about anybody but myself. Bro, when you said this, I was literally sitting in a jail cell. Why? Because I was advocating for somebody else. Her name's Karen Reed. Ever heard of her? That's why I was in there. That's why I was on bail in the first place. Because I was literally, I didn't know these people. I didn't know Karen Reed before this. I didn't know John O'Keefe before this. I just saw an injustice and I spoke out about it. And I went up to people that you were afraid to go up to, that you told people, don't talk to them. Don't talk to them. They might press charges on you. They're powerful. Stay away from the big, powerful McAlberts. Oh, no. And what happened? I ended up in the can. And you were too much of a coward to carry on the torch while I was in there. That's why I'm the leader in your vagina, Mike.
A little poor Aidan. Little poor little boy. Little boy, I ain't afraid of you. You say I'm trying to be all tough and act like you. You ain't tough. You're like you're like this tall. You've never done any combat sports. You've never gotten a street fight. You never went to school with two black guys because you kept getting up and an older kid kept beating you up. You had your parents called by the school nurse because you had two black guys in 5th grade because you kept getting up when the bully kept punching you in that face. You never did that because you're not a man. You sit there behind your little camera in your pathetic little house by yourself talking shit about people. That's who you are. You're a little man.
This guy serious right now? Bro, you got to be kidding me. I was literally indicted because I went up to these people in person who literally murdered John O'Keefe in cold blood and threw him out to die on the lawn like trash. Some of the most powerful people in Canton, powerful enough to not only murder somebody, but get away with it and cover it up because they have that many hookups. I went up to those people and I asked them questions and I got in their faces and I knocked on their doors and I rang their doorbell and I kept doing it until they put me in handcuffs and eventually put me in jail. That's what I did. Where were you? Where were you, Vagina Mike? Oh, wait, you didn't even jump on this story until what, late August when you had me on? And no one was watching your channel before that, by the way. You had like 300 people talking about cannabis and God knows what else other left-wing politicians you have on there. Nobody cares about your stupid interview with Ed Markey. Cool flex, bro. You got the ice cream man on there. Good job, right? But at the end of the day, when push came to shove, where were you? You quit. You were the last person that could talk about a tough guy. You literally folded and quit. All it took was a message from Krusty Panty saying, you're next. And you're like, God damn it, I quit. Screw Karen Reed, screw John O'Keefe. I'm out of there. Now, speaking of, when you finally came back 3 weeks later, you had a change of heart. This time around, you weren't just quitting. You weren't just taking some time off to get a criminal defense attorney. You were saying that Karen Reed might, in fact, be guilty. Roll the tape.
Like, I still feel Karen Reed is probably innocent. I really do. If I had to bet on it, I would bet on that. But we don't know. The reason why I took a break is because I don't want this kind of stress in my life. Honestly, I'm too old for it. And it went from me being 100% correct, convinced that Karen Reed is innocent, to who the hell knows? Who can you trust on this? And tonight that I think that Karen Reed did it, I'm not going there. What I'm trying to say tonight is that I have questioned a lot. And a few months ago, I would have said, yes, 100% Karen Reed is innocent. Today, I can't. I have doubts. And this is one of my points tonight. Like, what happens if we're wrong? What happens if you, even if you 100% feel like Karen Reed is innocent, what happens if you're wrong? Like, that's kind of where I am. Like, I think a lot of people on the Karen Reed side point out stuff every day that keep me convinced that Karen Reed is innocent. But it's okay to have some doubt. That's all I'm going to say. And I have had a little doubt.
You know what I've never done? Doubted Karen Reed's innocence. Not for 1 second. Never. It has not even remotely crossed my mind that John O'Keefe might have been hit by a car, because you have to be retarded to think that John O'Keefe got hit by a car. He's covered in dog bites. His cell phone shows him going up and down 3 flights of stairs, right? He just got in beef with Higgins at the bar, right? Higgins is trying to get with his girl, right? There's no taillight there in the morning. I can come up with a million reasons why it is impossible that John O'Keefe got hit by a car. It is the most basic test a human being can face, whether or not you actually believe this is possible. If you believe John O'Keefe was hit by a car, you will believe literally anything that the government gives to you. And that's Vagina Mike. Vagina Mike entertains this insanity and cowers and does this whole like, it could go either way. She could be guilty. She could not be guilty, because he's a fucking pussy. And he's afraid to take a stand. When the going got tough, Vagina Mike ended his show for 3 weeks, and then came back and said, you know what? She might be guilty after all. She might be. Because just in case he wants to be like, hey, look at me. I gave it up to both sides. It said both sides were possible. Pussy. This was the biggest, this is the easiest test possible to see if you have any sort of convictions. And when the going got tough, Vagina Mike did what he did best. And he quit. And he tapped out and he abandoned Karen Reed.
And let me just say this, AIDS. I protected you then. When I did that show, it was so that I wouldn't have to talk to the Mass State Police. So they would back the fuck off of me. So they wouldn't grab my phones and see that you indeed did wiretap her, didn't you? Lindsay and I both know it now. That's why I went to mental health counseling. Because of the betrayal. The fact that you didn't give two fucks about putting me in jail. That's the real story you didn't tell, right? Last night, Aidan? Didn't mention that you had sent me wiretap audio and you wanted me to post it because you wanted me to catch a witness intimidation charge. And I gave you the benefit of the doubt the entire fucking time. Until I heard that Karen audio. And it sounded just like Lindsay.
Oh, for fuck's sake, bro. First of all, you weren't on bail, so you weren't going to go to jail for anything. There was no charges. Secondly, Tully wasn't on your case. You said that Tully backed off your case because you did that, as if Tully is like watching your every move. And, oh, wait, Vagina Mike is taking a break. We'll lay off him now. We were going to go after Vagina Mike and ask for his phone. We're going to lay off him now because he played it safe. Dude, I just wanted you to play a tape, right? To let the world know that I was innocent in case something happened to me, which it did. I obviously shouldn't have, because you were a coward who was too scared of crusty panties. And you have this thing where you have this like McDonough syndrome where you think you're a lot more important than you actually are. Nobody cares about you. You were just a useful person that could upload the audio and play it if you wanted to. But clearly you weren't man enough to do that. I went to the wrong person. I should have gone to an actual man like, Will. Will played in 5 seconds. Why couldn't you, Vagina Mike? Because you're a pussy. Pussy, Vagina Mike.
Same MO, dude. You're a rat. You're a little man. And your life will always suck because of you. Not because of Lindsay. Not because of Meredith. Not because of Legan to do so. Not because of any of the women or ex-followers of yours that have seen the light. It's because of you. And you're not ruining my life, because my life is still fucking good. Unlike yours. And that's the best revenge, bitch. Is my life is going to be good. And yours is going to continue to suck, because you're a piece of shit.
My life's going to suck? I mean, I'm not even judging you, Mike. I mean, you look like you could use a shower and some hot water. But I'm not judging you, okay? So I don't know what your life is like. I hope you're happy. I hope you're actually happy, right? I actually don't want you to be miserable. But you think my life sucks? Bro, let's review where I'm at. I got a movie deal, a documentary deal, right? Just sold out the Wilbur. Gonna do it again. But most importantly, you know what I have? I have 2 wonderful, loving children who love me because I'm a dad first, all right? And every day I get to see them when they go to school and then when they come home from school. So my life is just swell right now.
You'll turn on your friends. You don't even know what friendship is. You have no long-term friends. Your family doesn't even show up for you in court. Your family doesn't even trust you to bring home a girl. You have no friends or family that trusts you.
First of all, I got a ton of friends, Mike, right? Just because they're not in Turtleboy world, right? It's like I got friends from high school, college that I go way back with. I got a friend from middle school, right? Good buddy of mine, lives in New York City, works for JP Morgan, right? When I see him, he's always like, so what's up with that Karen Reed? Because he doesn't follow it that much. And you know what? I don't know shit about what he does for work either. But we have history together. We're actual real life friends. We're not bonding just over the Karen Reed thing. It's an actual friendship, Mike. I don't know if you know what that means. They're not at the courthouse. They're not, in the chat. They don't have, they're not giving super chats. They're not doing that. You probably never heard of them before. And why aren't they showing up for court? Why isn't my family showing up for court? First of all, my dad's come. He's come a couple times, and he's come to the Wilbur show right in the front row there. Everybody loved my dad, right? But you're right. My brothers and sisters aren't there because why the fuck would they be there, right? They have families. They're working at 9 or 2, whenever the hearings are. And honestly, most of these hearings are a gigantic waste of time. I wouldn't ask them to take a day off from work, a personal day, to come sit there and watch Robert Cosgrove watch the paint dry and tell us, oh, I don't have the Discovery again this week. Ooh, what else is new? So no, Mike, you won't see my friends or family there, but you will see them at holidays, at get-togethers and stuff like that. And also, Mike, think about this one. Why aren't they showing up for court? I don't know. Maybe because there's insane people out there who will make memes of them and go through their entire history and look up their FOIAs and do all this shit. Who would want to make themselves that? You quit, bro. You quit when the going got tough. You literally took your ball and you went home. And you're asking why people don't want to put their shit out there. Because look at you. Look at you, Vagina Mike. They don't want to end up like you.
All you got is little sycophants. Oh, Mike crying. I ain't crying.
People that do care about me. Some people run for office, attorneys, big time, long time OG activist types who have dealt with similar repression, worried about me, telling me to be careful. And since some, wow, you're a coward. No, I think I'm actually being brave tonight. I am. To even do this show.
Brave? You got to be kidding me. Brave. You're brave. You literally quit when the going got tough. I sacrificed my freedom. I went to jail for this, right? I'm sitting in a jail cell, and you're sitting here telling everybody how brave you are because you're quitting. And then 3 weeks later, you came back and you said, you know what, guys? Karen Reed might have killed John O'Keefe. Very, very brave of you, Mike. Very brave.
So again, I just want people to know, I believe I am the subject, a target for this whole bullshit right now. And so I'm going to be stepping aside in terms of not doing quite as many live shows and not quite the same content.
I'm laughing my ass off at how much of a little bitch you are. Now you try to set me up for witness intimidation charges, and you act like I'm a wimp.
Gonna go after me. Now, this isn't a definite thing. This is not decided. I could be wrong. They could be getting ready today to pick me up. But they're sure trying. And I know they're thinking about it. And I would not be surprised if I'm part of this grand jury. Like that's that.
When Aidan gets in trouble, he tries to bring other people into it. That's all he does. He's a little bitch boy.
And I think none of this would have happened if not for Turtleboy uncovering a lot of crazy shit. And I think that in the end, he's going to be the hero on this.
And you try to set me up for witness intimidation charges, dude. You try to set me up with a wiretapped audio. And I never wanted to talk about it, but you're talking about my shit, so let's fucking talk about it, you little fucking weasel. You little fucking weasel.
And I think the part of what you're saying is true. Turtleboy's sitting in jail for what he truly believes in. I believe that. I totally believe that. Mike grew a vagina.
You're a fucking rat. That's what you are. You're a fucking rat. You get in trouble and then you try to bring other people into it.
And I think the part of what you're saying is true. Turtleboy's sitting in jail for what he truly believes in. I believe that. I totally believe that.
I hope you enjoy all of your chaos. Sitting in your little room by yourself watching the Pats game. How pathetic was that the other night? What a life you have. On streaming every fucking night because you have no fucking life.
Aw, Mike's just jealous because I have literally 10 times the amount of people watching me watch a football game than he does on any of his pathetic streams. That's why he's bringing guys on dressed as giraffes, because nobody's watching his channel anymore. Nobody. He ran a welfare channel that Mark Betterow and Turtleboy carried throughout the whole Karen Reed trial. And now it's over, and he's got nothing. He's got nothing. And he's trying to rewrite it like he's some sort of badass. But don't forget who Vagina Mike is.
Vagina Mike.